Well, you might say, here she goes again. Granny's talking about GrandmaCore and slow fashion. And what does that mean? Hi, friends. I'm Doll from Doll Can Create. I know you can too. And today I'm going to share a few thoughts on the whole GrandmaCore situation and just saying you don't have to be a grandma. You definitely don't have to be a grandma. I am. And very happy with that. I mean, the gray hair kind of gives it away a little bit, I'm sure. But you can be part of a GrandmaCore situation in your lifestyle. It's about a style of living, about slowing down, about slow fashion, about taking care of the planet. Boy, that's a whole lot, isn't it? I have my notes here, so I'm going to be going for my notes because I don't want to miss anything. But, you know, sometimes the wisdom of what our grandmothers knew is exactly what we need today to create the slower, gentler, more meaningful life. And if I'm thinking GrandmaCore wardrobe, then I'm thinking about my clothing. And I'm going to include in that household things, but that's for later. So stay with me. So what is GrandmaCore? Well, GrandmaCore is an aesthetic, right? It's something really cozy. It's the quilt. It's the hand knit cardigan. Something that carries a story with it. Now, I have a quilt, not on my bed right now because it's summer, but it's a beautiful quilt that was pieced together by someone I knew years ago in a church that I served. And I knew a couple of the people that actually did the quilting on it. It was gifted to me when I moved on after I was no longer a student. So there's a story with that. I had a sweater that Grammy made me when I went off to university. And it was the kind of a bulky knit sweater. And I think she got the pattern from Mary Maxim's here in Paris and Ontario. And it was so that I could wear something not too bulky when I went from building to building at university. So, and I wore that for years before it just kind of fell apart. Oh my gosh. And the truth is, GrandmaCore is already slow fashion because it takes time. So, what am I working on? I am working on these lovely pair of socks for Nick. This is the second of the pair, vanilla latte, and I'm on the last 12 rows before I do the toe. And I'm gifting them to him for his birthday. That's slow fashion. It's taken me a while. I'm also working on this lovely scarf, this lace scarf. It's a 1-row pattern, and I was inspired by the knitting professor. The knitting professor. I'll see if I can find the link and at least share with you her YouTube channel. Because I looked up the pattern and I thought, I have just the yarn for that. And those of you who follow me and know I love light purples and pastels. Slow fashion. Something for probably more winter or next spring, because you know when we come into fall and we want something like a scarf or something, we're looking at the colors that follow fall. So I'll have to rethink that one just a little bit. But yes, it's slow fashion. I have a sweater that needs to be finished. I have a sweater I want to cast on. I've been wanting to cast it on all month and I haven't found a pattern I love. So if you have a pattern for a pullover vest or a sweater in DK weight, because it's my hand spun from Tour de Fleece, maybe color work, give me some ideas, will you? I need help. I can't make a decision. I've got lots of patterns. I've seen lots of patterns. I just can't decide. That makes it even slower fashion, doesn't it? Oh well. Oh well. When I also think about GrandmaCore, I think about the doilies for the back of the couch so that your head didn't get things all dirty. Um, Handmade placemats for the table, hand embroidered tablecloths and pillowcases. I did pick up some embroidery, cross stitch. I don't normally do this, but I was at Mary Maxim's for their tent sale and I got this. Oh, it's backwards. Let me just see if I can switch it around. So there it is. Give praise to our God for all God has done. I'm going to take the he out and put God in and keep it neutral. But isn't that pretty? I haven't done cross stitch in years, so I'm looking forward to that. When am I going to have time to do that? I don't know. But one of the things I do know is that this whole slow fashion, whether it's for your house or your body, for your family, for your friends, or for your house, it's all about taking the time to care for those around you, taking the time to care for the environment. I know this cross stitch was not on my list to get. What I did buy, however, and I can show you, is cotton. Sugar and cream on sale. 1, 2, 3. Purple. 4. Some of that is going to be for a towel. And I'm just waiting on the pattern. The designer's still working on the pattern for that. And what else did I get at Mary Maxim's? I got these really cute needles. They're 4mm. I like short needles. Yeah, they're a US 6 4mm. Aren't they pretty? Really, really pretty. So I got those at Mary Maxim's as well. And I don't usually buy new, and I wasn't going to buy wool. They had some beautiful yarns, but I have yarn and I'm spinning wool. So why buy more? Why buy more? I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking about how good it is to make something that's going to last. So it's not fast fashion. We're not just going to go out and buy something new every season or every so many months because something's worn out or it's no longer in style. If you know me, you know I don't wear the latest style. I bought one dress this summer. I bought one 2-piece bathing suit, half of which I'm not wearing. And I bought underwear. That's it. I don't need anything else. So I'm not going to buy fast fashion. I did buy, I must say, we went to a thrift store and I got this lovely bag and another lovely bag. They were each $1. They're shopping bags, or I can even use them as a carry-all purse if I wanted. And I got a linen short sleeve dress, absolutely beautiful for me, lined with a poly cotton. So it was mostly linen with a nylon, and then the lining was a poly cotton blend, and not expensive, beautifully put together. Stitching is wonderful. That will last me. Since I've lost weight, I have not had enough clothes that fit me. Most things just kind of fall off. We have a fly in the house here. So we make things that last. We buy things that are going to last, right? And I think it's really important. And what lasts becomes part of our story, right? It becomes part of our everyday life. It becomes part of, I remember when I bought this, or I remember when someone gave me that, or I remember the winter I knit this. There was a sweater I knit years ago during the Winter Olympics in 1988. And I knit almost the whole sweater during the time I watched the Olympics. But there was a history there. There was a story that went along with that. I also want to look at making and mending, the importance of mending what we have so that it continues. And I was watching Christine's video, and I'll try to link her YouTube channel down below, where she was taking a hexagon and covering up the holes that were created by her bicycle, a bicycle chain. And I thought that's brilliant. And I've been working on a lot of hexes. I'm working on a grandmother's garden quilt design, but I've got lots of hexes. I've got lots of fabric. And I thought, why don't I try to do something like that? And even just to adorn a piece of clothing with one of these things. Mending what we have, darning the holes in my socks. If I'm going to take a month to make a pair of socks, you're darn tootin' I'm going to mend those socks at least once, twice, 3 times, depending on how badly they need mending. I don't tend to wear them out. Nick, on the other hand, yeah, he's got a couple spots, so I'm going to try to make socks that will last longer for him. And yeah, because mending is important. It's good for the environment. It's good for us, because when we finish that, we feel empowered. We feel like we've stepped into something and we've extended the wardrobe a little bit longer. And I think too, we have to look at, the phrase here is sentiment over trend. We can be trendy, but we can do it in the ways Grandma might have, by taking old pieces of cloth and making them into a new quilt, taking the leftover bits and pieces of yarn that she'd been working on to make a different scrappy blanket. And I look at my Astrid up here on the wall. That was bits and pieces, easy to do. Not so easy that I have decided to take it down and finish it, but it looks nice on the wall. Wouldn't you agree? So sometimes we have to do that. Also looking at natural fibers and finding local roots. So the bulk of what I'm spinning right now on my wheel is all from a local farmer at Rampart Farms, not far from here, less than an hour away, where she raises mixed breed sheep, mostly BFL. I've dyed some, I've spun lots, and I'm spinning more. But that's staying close to where I live. It's this whole 100-mile life thing that I'm aiming for. Our grandmothers would have used natural fibers as much as possible. When they got into the polys and the synthetic fibers, it was like, yay, we don't have to worry about it shrinking and all this other stuff. But it's so much better when we use natural fibers. Our skin breathes better. And if you've made it yourself, our hearts feel better. The slow fashion is about sustainability and also supporting local makers. So maybe you want a new outfit or a new idea, like a new top or a new skirt, something different. Then we go to the local markets or the little shops and see what there is. And we look for those natural fibers. Like when I was in the MCC store in New Hamburg, Ontario, where I bought that linen dress, I was looking at all the different dresses they had, and they had quite a few, and I found the one that had the fiber I wanted. And I know that they use their money well. Also, I think, I say that a lot, finding joy in being slow. I turned to Nick earlier this week, and I said, I think I finally let go of rushing. I have to do this by this time. I have to do this by this time. And sometimes I have appointments and I do have to go. And that's fine. But I don't have to feel that anxiety all day long, that I can just relax and just be. And if I'm going to do 12 rows on my sock today, isn't that wonderful? I'm going to finish the foot today, but I'm not rushing it. You know what I mean? That fly is going to drive me crazy. Sorry. Have you ever wondered how much of the fiber world, our creating world, is about community. You're part of that community just by watching today. As we post online in blogs and Instagram and Facebook and Patreon and Discord and we're building a community of people, of like-minded thinkers. Now, we don't always believe the same things, and we don't all like the same colors or the same techniques or even the same crafts, but we're forming this community that kind of pulls together. We're woven, right? We're intertwined all across the globe. We create community. So to close off today, GrandmaCore and slow fashion can also teach us to honor memory, honor caring for the environment and the products, and also honoring and finding joy in what lasts in our lives. It's just wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Maybe the latest or best fashion isn't the fastest, but perhaps it's the one stitched with meaning. I hope you found some meaning here today. So I have a couple of questions for you. What's one piece in your wardrobe that carries a story? Share in the comments below. I'd love to hear. And if you've enjoyed this reflection, give it, the thumbs up and the whole YouTube thing. Slow living, spinning, handmade fashion, 100-mile life. Until next time, keep creating, maybe even slowly, but with love. Thank you so much for watching Doll Can Create. And I know you can too, in your own way, in your own little corner of the world. We're taking care of the environment. We're taking care of one another. Go create. Till next time. Bye for now, friends.